February is American Heart Month, and we know that heart disease is the #1 killer of women. And we know those numbers have significantly improved in 20 years. So GMA is on call this morning with the 5 lifestyle changes women can make to help prevent heart disease. And to tell us all about them, we're joined by Dr. Suzanne Steinbaum, Director of Women and Heart Diseases at New York's Lenox Hill Hospital. Good to have you here with us.
Thanks for having me.
This is based on new science, correct?
Well, we have some new data that's come out that's really shown us the power of diet.
And elevated blood sugar, there's a correlation?
What we need to understand is that blood sugar that's greater than 125, that's diabetes. But when we have a blood sugar 100 to 125, it's a pre-diabetic condition. And really sort of eating these kind of foods, these simple sugars, carbohydrates, can lead to an elevation in triglycerides, increasing belly fat, borderline high blood pressure, and actually these borderline high sugars can increase your risk of heart disease. It's a pre-diabetic state called the metabolic syndrome.
Metabolic syndrome. I know often talking about, of course, the foods that we eat, and we see this here, and the Mediterranean diet is something we've been hearing a lot about.
We have. There has been a large study, huge study, 75,000 women, showing there's actually a 29% reduction in heart disease eating the Mediterranean diet.
And tell us what exactly that is.
These are really whole grains and beans and nuts and fish that has omega-3 fatty acids in it, olive oil, and this kind of diet itself can reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke significantly. And this study is showing us that actually making these dietary changes very simply can make huge differences.
And good foods here. It's not like you're denying yourself anything at all.
Absolutely.
We see, and this is a lot of debate, doctor, the multivitamin.
It is. So here's another study that came out. 160,000 women looking at antioxidants. Now, we always think of antioxidants as being things that actually protect us against cancers and heart disease. And in this particular study, there was no reduction in heart disease or cancers with antioxidants. It's important for us to know that certain vitamins, like omega-3s that come in pill form, or potentially vitamin D, could be helpful in preventing heart disease. But in this study and some others, not really the antioxidants.
But usually you find that people who are taking multivitamins are usually pretty active, and exercise comes into play, doesn't it?
It's absolutely true. Those that are living a healthy lifestyle tend to be taking the vitamin supplements and potentially eating healthy, but we don't need the vitamins. We can do it with the food. And exercise is the most potent medication we have. 150 minutes a week, 30 minutes, 5 days a week. Get your heart rate up. That is the most protection you can give yourself. And
sleep, we've heard over and over again, and this is one of our hot topics here on this program because we don't get as much sleep as we should. A lot of folks don't get as much sleep. But I've never heard it put into narrow terms like this. You said if we get less than 7 hours of sleep or more than 9 hours of sleep, that's bad. So less than 7 and then more than 9?
It's interesting. People were looked at in terms of their lifestyles. Who's sleeping more than 9 hours? And it turns out that these people tend to be a little more depressed, a little less active, and they actually have an increase in heart disease risk. And those that are sleeping less than 7 hours, you're just not getting enough sleep, enough regeneration. So that window, that real small window, sleeping about 7.5 hours a night, is perfect and perfect way to reduce your risk of heart disease.
So that's our target.
There
7.5.
7.5.
Not 8. 7.5.
7.5.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I know this is a very important month that's coming to an end, and we like bringing attention to it. And tell all my good friends at Lenox Hill, give them my best.
I will.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank
you can find these heart healthy tips on our website at abcnews.com.